Hi everyone, welcome at this new session of the Advanced Design User Summit event 2021. I'm very pleased to welcome all the attendees to this new session where the topic of today, the topic I would like to propose to you is to talk about BIM workflow. So today it will be a BIM workflow session. So this title may appear as a little bit generic, but you will see that we will go in practice. What we'd like to address mainly today it's relative to workflow between our GRETEX software, mostly Iron workflow involving advanced design, which is our finite element software in our simulate portfolio of products. And this afternoon we will describe and give and I will try to give you an overview of possible workflow involving GRETEX software and Autodesk software such as Revit or Advanced Steel in order to give you an overview of how we can address and how kind of workflow you could apply for concrete or steel project. Just a little bit of myself. I'm Stevens. I've been working for GRETEC for 6 years now. I'm part of the product management team and I operate in France, but I work worldwide. And one part of my job is mainly to work on all development we are running at GRETEX, working on and running top of Autodesk environments such as Revit for instance. So as I said today, our key central point will be advanced design, and BIM, when this session about BIM workflow will describe again possible workflow you can use in practice to run a project from design to detailing document. And all those workflow will involve advanced design, which is our hero and central product on our Simulate division. I think most of you already know Advanced Design. It's an international software, finite element software, which enable you to design multi-material project for concrete, timber and steel, and with many advanced feature for design. You have some global analysis feature, tools to speed up the definition of design assumption in your model, placing automatic loads with climatic generator for example, and with many other commands, capacity design check, and to finish, for sure, all those results of your assumption placed in advanced design could be a source of data and for generating detailed reports of analysis. Today, what I will propose is to give you an overview, and I will mainly split my presentation in two parts. First part it will be to describe workflow for concrete structure project. So we will start from a concrete model in Revit, export with our Power Pack for Revit this model to advanced design, launch quickly a design in advanced design, and bring back those results back in the Revit model. And Revit, you will see, has the capacity to embed all FEM result inside this numerical model, and we will be able to launch directly inside Revit some design capability tools to design local structural members such as beam, column or footing, for example, and we can speed up the drawings generation with some detailing tools we develop as well, which are part again of this Power Pack add-on running top of Revit. Then second part of the presentation and the last part will be more focus on steel. So we will describe possible workflow involving advanced design and Autodesk Advanced Style, especially with new synchronization mechanism we develop, which enable users to really master and monitor the modification done on model between Advanced Design and Advanced Style. And this new synchronization mechanism, which we are calling this Beam Connect, is really the key component that will make this connection between Autodesk product and Greatech product. So let's start with concrete project and with Revit, even if Revit can be used also for steel project, because you probably noticed that in the last version of Revit there is a dedicated ribbon for steel, but mostly for sure for advanced detailing drawing, Advanced Style is offering more advanced command. So coming back to concrete project, if we take this assumption of using Revit for concrete project, we have in Greatech an add-on named Power Pack, which is fully and totally integrated in Revit. This Power Pack is proposed in 3 package, let's say, and which corresponding to approximately three tabs you can see here on Revit: Power Pack Detailing, and Power Pack Design. So the Power Pack for Revit is not an external application, it's really embedded inside Revit user interface, and you will have access to all those commands directly from Revit. So the Power Pack for Revit is offering to user several commands to speed up the modeling, to help as well the management, and to speed up as well some very manual tasks, such as numbering automatically object in Revit, automatically join or unjoin the geometry. Family Manager is a kind of explorer of family inside Revit, which will help you to manage your Revit family directly inside Revit with the visual and graphical interface. We have tools as well inside our Power Pack to link the model, the Revit model, to Excel, to an Excel spreadsheet, modify this Excel spreadsheet and synchronize back the modification inside the Revit model. We have the element lookup command, which enables user to make some complex request and find a specific object responding to an advanced request based on Revit properties. And we have as well some engineering tools inside our Power Packs, tools to design structural members, mainly footings, columns, beams, and walls. And to finish, we are offering as well a set of tools to speed up the detailing inside Revit with commands such as speeding up the tag placement, the bedding detail placement, the schedule schema placement, and tools as well to edit the reinforcement and to manipulate the rebar quicker in Revit. So those commands for detailing, so I already just highlight them, but here if I'd like to focus and to highlight maybe some additional command I didn't explain yet, so or mention yet. We have as well in this those detailing feature we are offering some tools to generate quickly reinforcement around an opening or on the edge, and we can as well manage rebar visibility. So the Power Pack for Revit detailing tools is a set of almost 50 features purely dedicated for detailer and draftsmen. And the last package, the Power Pack Design, it's mostly some engineering tools, again totally embed inside Revit, which will enable engineers to launch the design of local objects such as a column, a beam, or footings, and based on external results coming from advanced design, for instance. And directly inside Revit, engineer will be able to control the diagrams, to place loads and combinations, and to generate a rebar cage based on the FEM results. And thanks to that, all those information could be summarized and summed up inside a very detailed report. So you see, the Power Pack is a very large set of tools, starting from generic commands addressed to all kinds of industries, such as the link to Excel commands to speed up daily operation inside Revit. And we have here some more focus command really addressed to a dedicated job, which is, for instance, here some engineering task. So let's talk about the possible workflow. So first workflow, quite the most used, I will say, it's to start from Revit and use the analytical model, because as you know, Revit, when you are making a model, a 3D model in Revit, meanwhile in background you have an analytical model generation, and this analytical model is embedding also as well some design assumption, or could embed some design assumption as well, such as load supports, for example, as well. And we have, with the Power Pack, this possibility to export this analytical model to advanced design, launch a design in advanced design with several possibilities, seismic analysis, for example, and concrete check, for example, etc. And then those FEM results could be exported again with our BIM Connect component to Revit, and Revit has a specific command, which is a result manager. It's a command you can find in the analysis tab inside Revit, where it will be possible to display what we call a result package. A result package, it's a set which contains all design results coming from an external FEM software. So here in our scenario, advanced design, and based on those FEM results, it will be possible to launch our local engine embed in Revit, our Power Pack design commands, to have a 3D reinforcement driven analysis and design and analysis driven approach. So beams, columns, footings, walls, those type of object could be automated in terms of 3D reinforcement based on some 3D cages automatically generated by our Power Pack, which will rely on FEM results. Another workflow possible is to involve a third program, a third software, which is Advanced Design module. So in this workflow, Advanced Design module, it's an autonomous software and application which allow user in a very simple interface to launch local calculation and design for, again, the same category of object: beams, columns, footings, walls. And here in this workflow, what it's possible is to start again from Revit, use our Power Pack to export this model to Advanced Design, and then bring back those FEM results with Revit again with our Power Pack. And with our Power Pack, it's possible as well to export not the whole structure, but only one single element. For example, one beam, one column, one footing, or obviously you can export as well a set of beam, a group of footings, or a group of columns, for example, and open those individual files in an external application, which is Advanced Design module. So the file extension we are using for this workflow is GRETEC-X file, so it's GTCX. It's an internal file format we have to address those exchange. And in Advanced Design module, it will be possible to make the design locally of structural members, and export again with the GTCX format the 3D rebar cage generated in this local application to Revit. So it will be possible to bring back the 3D rebar cages coming from advanced design module to reinforce groups of elements. So here in this case, what is interesting is that we can bring back an external cage coming from an external application, in this case advanced design module. So you see two scenarios which make our tools quite flexible in terms of use, and those workflows could be used to match in the better way with your local engineer organization in your engineering office. Okay, so what I propose is to start and to have an overview of the general workflow. Okay, so what I propose is to have an overview of this first workflow to see in action the global rules and global guidelines for this first scenario. So as an initial configuration, we have here a Revit model organized by level, composed with classical and usual Revit families. And in parallel of this model, we have in background this analytical model set and managed by Revit, automatically created, and load case. Those load cases are not creating automatically by Revit. It's the user who have to create those load cases. But the load case could be part of a template. For example, at least for the naming, because for sure you have to apply the loads. You have some tools in Revit to apply surfacic loads, punctual loads, etc. In addition, this analytical model contain various settings. For example, here it's possible to define release on top or bottom part of the column. So for each linear element, such as beam, columns, or braces for steel object, we have a wire for the analytical model. So now it's time, thanks to this, based on this model, to export this model to Advanced Design. And for that, we will use the Beam Connect component, which is part of the Power Pack package. We have a direct launch option, which is the advanced design option, but we have some settings which enable the user to really monitor what you want to export or import. So you have the possibility to export only element with analytical model. So if you have, for example, some walls and you don't want to export them to Advanced Design, you just check this option, and they will not be exported. We can also have some specific option for steel as well. So in this case, I will export now using the export command the model. If I click on the Advanced Design command, the model will open directly the Advanced Design software. If I use the export command from the Beam Connect, the software will create GTCX files that I can, for example, launch on another computer. So here I start the direct export, which come with a report. It's not mandatory, but it's helpful to have a view of how many objects are exported, how many walls, how many supports, how many beams, how many footings, etc. As here in my case I have the two software of my computer, I can use this direct export, which will automatically launch the software. So here now I'm in Advanced Design, and you see we have exactly the same model import from Revit, and for sure we have the geometry, but what is interesting is that we get all a set of additional information, such as here the loads. So we see here those surfacic loads are well imported in Advanced Design. We automatically import the right value and the placement of those loads. We have for sure the geometry, the section of the columns are correctly imported, the thickness of the slabs, and for the footings, they are converted into supports, but we have, you see as a parameter, the section of the footings, which are also imported in advanced design. So footings coming from Revit, here you see the geometry and the value of this isolated footing families are converted into a punctual support in advanced design. Additional information that we have in this workflow and in this import processes is the organization of the model. Here we have the systems, which is corresponding more or less to the level. So to speed up a little bit the presentation, we for sure in advanced design you can define a large set of design assumptions, seismic loads for example. You can define the masses on the model, etc., and run a calculation based on the combination. You have the Newmark combination as well that you can define in advanced design. So here it's just some key command, but really engineering oriented. For this presentation I will more focus on the workflow. So here in this workflow, we just here in advanced design launch the design, and we have the possibility to visualize all kind of result and to save as a view those graphical results. So here, as you see, we can with the color scales and ISO color views see all efforts, bending moment. We can manage the scales. We can see those moments for surfacic elements or for linear elements. We can display the displacement as well and save all those graphical visualization as views, which will appear in advanced designer tree. Here we isolate a floor and some walls, and we can manage as well the visualization of torsors of effort for groups of walls or for walls, such as here. So you see we get here the value of those effort applied for those walls. And again, it's possible to, just by clicking in this button on the top left of the ribbon, Save View, we can directly save those graphical representation as view, and it would be possible to come to them and to display them in a second step, thanks to the advanced design tree. So now we will isolate slabs, concrete slabs, because it's possible as well to calculate and to design the theoretical value, theoretical reinforcement value for these slabs. So for that we can define some concrete assumption, such as the exposure. The class exposure will come automatically with crack verification, which are automatically come in advanced design, and we have this option which will correct the theoretical value of reinforcement automatically to fit with the maximum crack width from the Euro codes. So we have here a set of assumption dedicated to concrete definition, which will enable user to calculate the theoretical reinforcement needed for this slab, plus some specific check operation oriented for and needed for concrete elements, such as here cracking, for example. So here we have the reinforcement value, and it's possible naturally to manage the scales and the units to change the value. So you see here in red you have the biggest value, in blue the lower one, regarding the reinforcement needed for this planar element. and those we will see after that all those value will be exported into Revit. So regarding the export, it's still the Beam Connect component and technology that will be used. So here this Beam Connect is embedded in Advanced Design, and you see we have a dedicated option to export the theoretical reinforcement. So my export is a set of data that I can control. So I can export only the geometry plus some efforts, and I can as well export the theoretical reinforcement. So it's important to have this option activated if I want, for example, to place in Revit some fabrics or bars for slabs based on those theoretical values. So in this ribbon in Advanced Design we have several other file formats as exportation, DXF, CSV, PSS, SDNF for steel, for example, etc. So here we will export GTCX files, which is the GRETEX file extension. It's our internal file format which is used for the workflow between our product and our IP product in GRETEX, such as Advanced Design and Autodesk platform, Advanced Steel, or in this case Revit. So here we have generated this GTCX files, and I can synchronize those modifications coming from Advanced Design to Revit. So here, by using this synchronization, I will have a new dialog box, because in this new release launched in May this year, we totally review the organization of this synchronization dialog box, which is now a nice interface which enable user really to not have a black box when you make an import. We will see that it's really possible to control which information I want to import in this GTCX files. So here I will use this synchronization dialog box to complete the initial model start in Revit with additional information designed and created in Advanced Design. So I especially have in mind all information regarding the design of the structural member. So my synchronization dialog box, here we have the name of the file, the date, we have some information with a legend, so some new objects are created, some of them are modified. We have a quick overview of the preview. You see a result package available, theoretical reinforcement available, so it's I can have a view on what it's inside, and I can manage little bit like Excel this table list to choose which attribute I would like to see, and I would like to see as a column is this global interface. So I can filter as well. So here you see I can quickly isolate and see only which object have been added in Advanced Design. So here I have some new beams coming from Advanced Design. I have this mechanism you see as a nested table, which enable me to have more information of the object, and I can take decision, keep, meaning that I will take the decision later, ignore, meaning it will not be seen as an additional modification, or I can accept the modification coming from Advanced Design here and generate, so it's not mandatory as well, a report of those decisions taken on this synchronization. So here you see I quickly accept all the new object. If you look at the legend on the left of this dialog box, you see now new object change from 6 to 0. So I can synchronize step by step. So it's not mandatory to make all validation and checking in one shot in this dialog box. I can make it step by step here to validate progressively each modification. Let's talk a little bit about the result. So in Revit out of the box, we have in the structural analysis part, this icon names Result Manager, which will enable user to see what we call a result package. A result package is a set of data coming from an external FEM software, and in our current scenario, we are talking about data coming from Advanced Design. By the way, the name of the provider is displayed in the result manager. So if I isolate some objects, so all structural members of this model, beams, footings, slabs, and even walls, for example, are now completed by additional data from Advanced Design. All results, all efforts, all internal effort coming from Advanced Design are now part and stored in Revit. So you see here I can use my PowerPack design capabilities to tell our software that I want to use those information. So I can import those result package, and now we will see that behind this and in parallel of this formwork model, our PowerPack design, you see here in load combination command, we will see that our local engine here displays some value. So you see here in VX, for example, in N direction, we have some values, and those values of effort came directly from Advanced Design. So here in Revit, we have a set of commands. All those commands which are now presented are part of what we are calling the design capabilities of the PowerPack. So it's the last tab. We have the PowerPack first tab, which is a general command, the PowerPack detailing, and the PowerPack design. Why it's named design? Because as you can see here, I can calculate a rebar cage based on those results. It means that in this case, as you can see, the 3D reinforcement, the stirrup, the longitudinal bar place, it's really native rebar in Revit. So it's really a real rebar family in Revit. I can calculate structural member by this button, calculate, and what is our engine is doing, our PowerPack design is taking all internal effort coming from Advanced Design, use the local regulation. So depending the assumption, if you use a Eurocode or another regulation, it's possible, and we will use those reinforcement assumption and those design assumption to launch a calculation for this specific element. And so for beam, so you will see that there is some specific option for multi-span beam as well. We will have some 3D rebar cages, but generated based on FEM data coming from Advanced Design. So those engine PowerPack design capabilities are available, as you saw, for columns, for beam, multi-span beam, and we have as well a specific tools for walls as well. We can read the torsors for a walls or for a group of walls, and design as well and generate, as well, a 3D rebar cages here based on those value. And you will see we have some assumption that the software will use in order to create a practical and pragmatic reinforcement configuration. So here you see, if I select the load and combination command from the design of the PowerPack, I see the torsors and the value. And based on those reinforcement assumptions, you see, for example, around the openings, we have some additional local reinforcements. Those assumptions can be used as well, for example, if you want to manage stiffeners as well. And you see on both sides, on the extremity part of the wall, we have some some additional rebar cages, and all of this can be done based on those design capabilities from the Power Pack. So next, I would like to introduce as well some additional possibilities relative to the next step of this workflow, which is, okay, we start from a Revit model, we export it into advanced design, we synchronize back some FEM result to design some reinforcement cages based on those FEM results, and how can I push this workflow till the production of detailed documentation and detailed drawings. So for this, you will see that we develop and our Power Pack propose again some tools to manage the continuity and the link between those theoretical reinforcement generated and practical reinforcement generated on this model to the final documentation. So we have here a notion of groups, which is not the same notion as group of Revit, but it will help to standardize a rebar cage generation on several objects. For example, here you see if I'm selecting those 4 isolated footings and I group them, so I can name these groups. So here groups of footing number 1. So we have a design status dialog box where we have a view on how many objects are part of these groups. So in this case, 4 isolated footings, and we add, as you saw, the preview of the mark number here, so it's possible. And we have some share parameters, Greatex share parameters added in my Revit model. So the group notion here you see it's not the same notion as the groups in Revit. It's a common share parameter that we are using, and based on this share parameter, our software engine will standardize the rebar cage generation for all footing belonging to the same groups. So here, depending the most solicited element, we are sure to have the same rebar cage on all those footing. So it's interesting to speed up the rebar cage generation, to have something as well for the building side more easy, because we will have the same rebar cage for all those elements. And this group notion is used both for it's smart, I would say, because it's used here to create rebar, but it could be also used if you modify those rebar cages, because if you modify the rebar cages of these footings, all footings from this same design group will be modified as well. How I can modify the rebar cage on a footing? I can do it manually with Revit native option, but we have here, you see, a parametric dialog box. It's our main bar command. The main bar command, it's a kind of wizard we developed to generate a rebar cage for structural element based on some graphic constructive disposition. So in this dialog box, as you can see, you can place the number of stirrups and reinforcement you want on each direction, longitudinal, transversal, and so on. You manage the value of the diameter, the hook angle, for example, here the hook length. You can manage variable species as well, so it's a parametric approach to generate a rebar cage and not as Revit is doing. So here, if we change the quantity of a rebar set distribution, all rebar cages of all footings belonging to the same design groups are modified as well. So it's interesting here to see that this notion of groups helps user to speed up the creation, but as well you see all footings are still I would say a kind of connected, by this notion of groups, in the sense that you see here, just for the needs of this presentation, we reduce significantly the number of bar, and you see graphically the modification of all the quantity for all those footings. So it's not this notion of groups which is used. We are using another technology based on a share parameter. The native groups command of Revit, and I think you know that, it's interesting as well, but it's decreasing the performance inside the Revit model. When you have too many groups inside the Revit model, it's not recommended as a method to manage a huge Revit model or big Revit model. Let's continue with here this other option and command we have to create a real practical reinforcement, and that I will be able after to place into documentation. So here in this case, I'd like to highlight this notion of multi-span beam. You know, in Revit, in many cases we are modeling individual beam, but on a design point of view, I want to consider those three individual beam as one. It's the notion of multi-span. So the PowerPack detailing command is offering a dedicated option for that. It's notion of multi-span beam, which is close to the group notion, but it's a specific option we define for multi-span. So you can here you see select individual span of beam and group them, and give the intelligence to Revit and this notion to say, okay, Revit, those three beams belong to one multi-span beam. And so now you see, if I calculate only one beam here, all the span will be calculated, because now we are using a share parameter placed inside this beam. And by the way, you see here our wizard, the main bar command, recognize just by picking and selecting only one beam, is recognizing automatically that, okay, this beam is connected to two other span. So now if I calculate this beam based on the result coming from advanced design, you will see that all the span is calculated, and so the reinforcement generated is generated based on this assumption. So you see at the beginning, the connection, the anchorage value, and so on, all the reinforcement placed here is placed taking in account that it's not an individual beam, isostatic beam, it's a multi-span beam. So here it's also an interesting option we have for this very common use case we have on project. So till now, as you see, we manage I would say simple beam, because those beams are a simple rectangle for the section, but in practice, for sure, you will have MEP system in your project, and so having to manage some depressure, for example, or maybe openings inside a beam in order to create a path for a pipe, a duct, or whatever. So for the design, for sure, we design the beam as a simple wire, but it's possible in Revit, based on thanks to our PowerPack design option, you see here, to custom the geometry of a beam. So we have the geometry command, which enable to drive and to control the section of a beam. So it's a specific geometry command. So till there, this option is just to show you that we can control the geometry of structural members thanks to our dedicated command, and with this command it will be possible to custom the geometry of the beam. So for example, if we want to add some depressure or some openings in the beam, we can use, to make it quick, I will use this command openings by face. So I'm selecting here a plan and I'm placing a depressure and an opening here, like this, and coming back to this command geometry. So I select the geometry, I select the beam, so I custom the geometry of the beam, so which is no more simple one. And you see now in this dialog box is completed with additional information coming from my Revit modeling. So you see here I have some value. So because I make a sketch, those values are not round value or exact value, so I can still adjust those values. For example, here the position of these openings, and as you will see, as soon as you change those values, those modifications will be automatically reported to the model. So starting from a simple beam, you see you can custom the geometry with some native Revit command, such as openings by face, and you can drive the geometry of those openings with our PowerPack command, especially the geometry command here, which enable user to master the dimension of openings and depressure. And so now if you calculate the beam, still based on FM result coming from advanced design, you see here you have some additional local reinforcement for the around this opening of this beam, and you have as well the position of longitudinal bar adapted to the custom shape of this beam. So you see here in this practical case we are using really design data as an entry information, and we are taking in account some practical configuration and some practical case, such as here adding openings and depressure due, for example, to MEP system. So here it was more advanced design. It was more some additional feature relative to custom, more or less the design inside Revit, design the rebar cage, I mean. But we have also some command in addition to that dedicated to detailer. So this is what we call the PowerPack premium package. So it's relative to this PowerPack detailing tab, which contain more than 50 tools, especially this command bending details. And you see it's very quick, very easy. So it's not possible to do this with Revit out of the box. So we create a very custom and complex family. It's a native Greatech family, and to create those kind of details, to custom the drawings, we develop this command bending details, which will create a detail item family. So it's basically it's a 2D family. We will catch the rebar dimension and information here, and in case of rebar modification, I mean if the rebar shape change, automatically you see the rebar the rebar bending detail will be updated automatically. So you see here, if I stretch the bar, for example, you see automatically the bending details are updated. So our PowerPack detailing is a set of tools. One of the most used tools is this command bending details, that help user to fine-tune the drawings by adding those details. So it's possible, by the way, to manage the scales of these bending details, scale 1, so you can make them smaller as well. So just here also another use of those bending details that can be placed and part of a tag as well. You see here, so it's possible for user to create a tag. So here it's the tag are native Revit family, and we can complete those tags with a small bending detail as well. So it's depending your graphical chart. for drawings, but it could be also very useful. Still also as an option, those bending details can change in terms of graphical representation depending the level of details of the view as well. So next possibilities relative to another structural family in Revit, slabs. If we open, for example, here this view, we have a slab module inside Revit. So it's another specific interface we developed for slabs. So by the way, it's working for group of slabs. You do not need to have one single slabs, because in practice often it's often the case that for a floor you need several individual slabs, and we can group them. And so in this interface it will be possible to place some rebar or some bars or some fabrics. So here we'll not go in details of this module. It was just to, because it's more detailing oriented, and here in this session I'd like to focus more on workflow. But it's interesting to know that we have this kind of dedicated interface to place rebar. So in our interface of slab modules, it's possible to display and to place, bar. It's possible to place fabrics based on FEM results. So you see we have an isographic color scales, and it will be possible in a second step to custom the reinforcement with additional commands. So for example here, a little bit like the beam, you see for slabs you may have some openings in your project. So we develop some specific command to copy automatically some rebar set based on openings detection. So we have a command here that will detect openings, and we will automatically cut a rebar set around these openings, because for sure in practice you may have, due to MEP system as well, some maybe punctual or small openings that you will not take in account in the design. And it's possible to split rebar around those openings, or to split rebar according a maximum length or a number of splitted element. We have a dedicated command, split rebar, which is coming with a set of options to manage the connection. We can manage an automatic overlap between bars, insert a coupler, crank the bar as well. It's possible to crank them. Have just a simple connection with a small offset. So we have several connection methods. So based on this configuration, our split rebar command, which is also a key command of the PowerPack detailing package, will help user just by selecting a rebar set to automate the splitting. As main bar command, we have dedicated also wizard to place reinforcement cages around openings. So here, if I'm selecting an openings, I can place diagonal bars, main bars, edge bars, for example, and automatically here I can have those rebar generated, and I can quickly change the representation to solids still with my PowerPack. We have the rebar visibility command, and then after I can use the pure detailing tools, to place dimension line, to place bending details, and so on, to really push the work till the final drawings generation. So the PowerPack design package is a set of commands to optimize and to custom the 3D rebar cage generation, and then we are offering in our PowerPack a last technologic bricks, which is those set of individual command PowerPack detailings that will, for example, here place bending details, place dimension line to help user to fine tune those drawings. Those bending details can be placed. You see, they are placed in a rotated plane here, directly in the plan view. It's not the same orientation that for the bending detail. So here, all those tools could be used to fine tune your drawings. So another command which will be also helpful for to complete the design. So here you see I quickly design a rebar cage based on advanced design results. So I get some longitudinal bar and the rebar cage generated by the design. So this rebar cage is generated driven by design information coming from advanced design, and in practice I will be able to use PowerPack detailings to adjust and complete the reinforcement. For example, here if I want to crank bar, I have an individual command here which enable user to crank the bar very quickly based on geometrical information you will place. So here I do not need to design or to calculate again my rebar cage. It's calculated. I can just push and adjust the design, this design cage based on some more practical settings. And to conclude and to finish, I'd like to just launch quickly this command generate drawings based on some template configuration. So we have several mechanisms to automate the drawings, and so here, as you can see, we can automate. So this generate drawing command is not automating fully the final drawings, but it will automate all a set of usual manual operation you will always do for making a drawing, creating a title blocks, placing views in these title blocks, managing the scales, placing the schedules. So you see here in one click I already place based on this command. The command generate drawings will automatically place the elevation views, 3 sections, the title blocks, and the schedule. So it speed up this drawing generation, and then I can adjust manually, like here, by adjusting the view placement, change the scales, change the position of the title, and etc. And regarding the schedules, I explained that we have a command bending details, and we have a similar notion specific for schedules. It's a schedule schema command which will, as you see, create automatically an image. It's really an image assigned as an image property. It's a type of image, I think the exact name of the parameter of rebar, and this image will be placed so in my final schedules. So it's an interesting command as well, which will automate the schedule schema insertion and placement inside a schedules. Else in Revit it's not possible to place such a schema. So here our schedule schema command will automate this image creation, assign them automatically to rebar, and so you will be able to see those images in your final drawing. Okay, so that was the end of this first part of this presentation relative to workflow for concrete structure. I propose you to maybe start the second part relative to steel workflow for steel project, which advanced design and advanced steel, and we will see that it will still the PowerPack which will be used to manage the connection between those two software. The PowerPack, maybe I think I didn't mention it. It's It's a brand we have to develop add-ons running top on Autodesk platform, and we propose it on 4 platforms: Revit, Advanced Steel, Inventor, and Vault. So here, to address Steel's workflow, those workflow will rely again on advanced design. So advanced design is offering some dedicated command really adapted for steel design. We have, for example, some specific command and some specific feature for designing steel structures, such as this advanced lateral torsion blocking check. It's an advanced method based on the seven degree of freedoms elements with second order wrapping analysis to design those advanced design lateral blocking. And it's working for any kind of section. Here, if I continue quickly the list of key commands for steel design part of advanced design software, we have steel member optimization based on deflection or stability working ratio. The reports for sure, because we can check the design with detailed report, which will contain all formulas, all results, and all information. It's possible to design, by the way, steel connection with advanced design. So advanced design can design, by the way, a connection for 2D connection and 3D. So we have some here some specific design capabilities for that. It's possible as well to speed up the modeling with an integrated library for steel structural members, which will include, by the way, SteelDext. And again, we have a BIM workflow based on the BIM Connect components to export with a GT6 file format data and models between Advanced Steel, the Autodesk platform, and our design software, Advanced Design. So let me highlight some key commands of our Power Pack for Advanced Steel. So the Power Pack for Advanced Steel, in the same way than Power Pack for Revit, it's totally embedded inside Advanced Steel. It means you will have a dedicated tab and dedicated ribbon, which a large set of commands dedicating to speed up the productivity and the data exploitation of your model in advanced design. So mainly to speed up the Power Pack for Advanced Steel, speed up the modeling for some steels projects. So let me highlight some key features. So the platform cover creator, which will automatically create a grating or plate cover. So it's based on supporting members. We extended with our Power Pack some advanced initial and out-of-the-box advanced steel capabilities, by the way, with this possibility to export a part of the model or the entire model, obviously, to those additional file format, STEP and IGS. We can change or update similar joint by the way, in similar command with this multi-join edit. We have as well, we are proposing when installing the Power Pack Advanced Steel an additional library of connection, and we have as well the special part manager, which based on user input. This command will assemble different special parts and which can be used in specific joints. The stair modules, it's probably one of the most powerful command in the Power Pack for Advanced Steel, or at least it's a really nice, pretty nice command, which enable user to speed up modeling for custom stairs, straights or balance with multiple flights, with customizable landings, and so on. And we have, together with these stair modules, railing modules to help the modeling of various types of railings with some several options to define the starting point, the ending points. We have some special part as well, some splitting mechanism as well. Again, it's a specific module developed top on Advanced Steel, and we have still based on our internal file format, the GTX extension, file extension, a component, so the BeamConnect component, which will make possible the exchange between models coming from Advanced Steel to Advanced Design. So let me jump to possible workflow. So basically, there are two types of workflow mostly used in between Advanced Steel and Advanced Design. So the simplest one is to use a direct import export synchronization command with the BeamConnect. So it's possible to export the geometry from Advanced Design, from Advanced Steel, sorry, it imports the geometry in Advanced Design, make the design in Advanced Design, make some steel optimization for section, for example, design some connection, for example, as well in advanced design, and apply loads and so on, and we can synchronize modification for section or for materials coming from Advanced Design back to Advanced Steel. Another workflow is to place Revit on the loop, meaning we can have a steel project inside Revit, export it in Advanced Design, bring back the result into Revit, and we can have some transversal exportation between Revit and Advanced Steel, or link with between Advanced Design and Advanced Steel. So this additional workflow, placing Revit in the loop, is again another option which can maybe more suitable maybe for your company, depending the way you organize your project. So this is the purpose of offering multiple workflow, is to make them applicable for any kind of organization inside your engineering office. So let's show in action some possibilities regarding this workflow. Okay, so here we have a steel model. So it's an Advanced Steel frame. It's an industrial building made in Autodesk Advanced Steel. So this model contains some steel connection with base plates, as you see. So it's basically a steel frames, and as you can see on the top, the power pack for Advanced Steel is a dedicated ribbon, fully embedded and integrated in Autodesk Advanced Steel, and we still find here the import-export of GTCX files. So here we will export this model thanks to our Power Pack to Advanced Design, and on the start screen from Advanced Design, it's possible to import directly this GTCX format. So you need as well to save the model after exporting, because all information are saved inside the model. In Advanced Design, we can see here that the geometry is very well imported. We have the base plate here, and if we go to if we change the orientation of the view to an isometric view like this, we can see that inches on the putting column and rafters as well, so and the purlin as well, everything have been well imported. So here we can see as well the apex connection coming from Advanced Steel. And if we then once the geometry is imported, it's possible to start the engineering process and try to set up the geometrical and design properties for the structural member, such as this rafter. Basically, we are preparing the model for the engineering design. So because as well we can create super element in Advanced Design. So here, what we are going to do, we are going to use the property template. So the property template, it's a way to propagate information, meaning that you can configure it fully one rafter regarding some properties like as here buckling, deflection, lateral duction boxing, and so on. You can save those settings inside a template, and once the property template is saved, you can propagate it very fast to a selection of several other elements inside your model. So here you see the lateral buckling definition that can be done as well graphically on the view. So regarding the rafter here, we can load property templates through an XML files, and for Perlin it will be the same process. So here, as you can see, all property were correctly transferred to other objects thanks to this design template command. And for Perlin, we will apply and run the same process, meaning that it's possible here to define the property templates. So here, such as some design properties, we can select all and apply here in the ribbon a design template. So it's possible to import again through an XML files all those settings and propagate them very quickly to a selection of elements. So here's design templates. We can apply it to all purlins or to all columns as well. So here we define the rafters in this model, the design properties. We did the same for purlins, for columns. And it will be possible now to select steel members to define load area. So the load area, it's also a command part of advanced design software. It's one of commands specifically useful for steel project, because it will help user to calculate automatically the repartition of the loads on steel members, and it can be done manually or by selection, as you can see. Then you have to set the properties of the loads, direction of the loads, which element is going to take the load as well. Next, in this engineering definition properties process comes the loads and combination in a second time. So it's possible to apply all type of loads, as you can imagine is advanced design, especially the climatic generator which exists in advanced design, and it will be possible to use this climatic generator for winds and for snow, and so based on this climatic generator, applied loads either on the entire structure or generate also on the selection. Once all those automatic those loads are placed, we can combine them, so generate some combination which will be used for the designs. And once loads combination supports connection release are defined, your model will be ready for your steel model will be ready for design. So here you have an overview of the combination definition with the automatic coefficient apply. So all those combinations will be accessible through the tree. So once the calculation is done, for sure all analysis results are visible, either graphically, you can see the bending moment, displacement, we can see internal forces, torsors graphically, We can see constraints as well, so all those information can be visualized through views, 3D views, or of course for some reports. Regarding the views, Advanced Design is offering an additional set of commands to manage, for example, here and to custom the display. You have some specific command to manage the graphical color according scales, or some assumption or settings. You have various settings regarding the way you want to display result on your model. So now it's possible we will focus on the optimization on the still section, because it's possible in Advanced Design to have access to this optimized table. So the optimization section can be done by element, by section, by name, by design template. So Advanced Design propose some section that we can accept or make it manually, or we can decide by our own. For example, here, if the Perlin section proposed by Advanced Design is adapted, or if we want to change. The same for the rafter. So Advanced Design offer this still optimization section, and we can combine this command with, as you can see here, some graphical settings. So each time an optimization is done, we have to launch again the calculation to have the right value after modification of the section. So on this model, 2 line of Perlin has been optimized, and for example here it's possible to display with this new after this still section optimization the reaction on the support, for example. So and with those value we can design, for example, the connection. So for connection, embed in Advanced Design, we have the still connection module, which here in this example is used to model and to design these base plates. So the still connection is a very clear interface which offer a complete range of settings for the dimension of the plates, the way we are going to place the anchors as well, and the still connection modules is usable for several type of connection. We can use for apex connection, so you know the apex on join is commonly used for roof beam. It consists of 2 beams split with bolt and plate and optional hunches. And what is interesting in here for this, and you see the hunches on the top or on the bottom of this connection, we can model and design the connection step by step with this non-modal interface. You do not need to place all value and validate and then reopen this parametric dialog box, redo some settings and revalidate and so on. You can work step by step by playing with the settings to converge and to the final connection you want to model and design. So here you have also a notion of groups available for the position of those bolts to manipulate them quickly here. And and once the modeling of the still connection is done, it's possible for sure to launch the calculation and access in the small table to display the results, such as the verification or the percentage of the work ratio. Once the design is done, both for still member, once the optimization of section is done and the design of the connection, we can export a GTCX files again. So we will use this internal GRETEC file format to export the advanced the new model completed with the design made in Advanced Design software. So we generate these files, these GTCX files, and back to Advanced Steel, we will use this the same dialog box, by the way, that for concrete structure. We will use a new synchronization dialog box, a new mechanism we implement this year in 2022. So here you see this synchronization box looks exactly the same like the previous one we use for concrete structure with FM result, reinforcement, and so on. We will have access to this non-modal windows. So again, we have a list of in this table of all modification done with a graphic legend to identify quickly which are the new elements, how many objects have been modified, which are the delete one, and all characteristics are there. We can have access to filter. We can filter only the purlin, the rafter, and monitor the decision for each single object. So we have the same notion of nested table to have access to more advanced properties. So here we can see that, for example, here it's a material which have been modified, not really the physical property of this material, but the naming, the codification here. So after it's a user decision to say, okay, he can ignore in terms of decisions those modifications. He can keep them meaning that he will manage them later. Those modifications will still be be visible in this dialog box, or we can accept. So you have three choice for the decision: keep, accept, and ignore. And we can filter per level, per status, and so on, and make modification. You see, like Windows, you can place a little star to filter a specific category of object, and you can manage the decision for a set, because we can select multiple rows of this table and apply the same decision for a set of object, a selection, or specifically we can select one dedicated object and apply a decision for this one. So what is interesting here is that this specifically this here we can see after and before the section optimization. You can see here that the modification coming from Advanced Design with this new steel profile, and we can here in this example accept the modification or ignore or keep it if we want to make it later. And what is interesting with this nested table concept, you see we can ignore only the synchronization of one property, the modification of the materials, but we can accept the section and the geometrical modification with this new steel profile coming from AD, Advanced Design, after the optimization process. So we can here you see monitor and apply step by step those modification for the all steel members part of this project. So really this synchronization dialog box is really key in this workflow between Advanced Design and Advanced Steel, because thanks to this interface you will be able to master the modification during this import-export process between a detailing model made in Advanced Steel to the design model made in Advanced Design. Okay, so that's it for the description and the overview of a possible workflow for steel. So you see there are plenty of possibility, and another possible workflow for steel would be to place again Revit on the loop, and it would be possible to combine capabilities of the Beam Connect between Revit and Advanced Steel or Advanced Steel and or Advanced Steel and Advanced Design. So to conclude, Advanced Design is the key software to design both concrete or steel structure project based to FM analysis method and with a dedicated command optimized for steel design or concrete design. For example, for concrete, we mentioned very briefly within this presentation crack checking, and we have for steel several commands in advanced design, such as the steel optimization section we present, and this workflow between the detailing model and the design model rely on import and export process based on the GT6 file formats, and this will allow users to benefit from the Greatech Power Pack to manage model from design to detailing. In addition, more specifically for concrete project, this workflow makes make easier the 3D rebar cage generation for a concrete model, and so getting a full 3D rebar model in Revit based on this workflow will be faster, because many structural elements such as columns, beams, or footings or wall could be partially automated in terms of reinforcement based on 3D rebar cage automatic generation based on FM result coming from advanced design. And regarding synchronization from advanced steel to advanced design, clearly this new synchronization mechanism is a key component as well to really monitor each modification coming from advanced design, modification regarding the sections, the materials, regarding new objects or new element added in the design to really streamline exchanging between design and detailer. So hope you appreciate this presentation. So it was a quite long presentation, quite detailed as well for both materials, concrete and steel. Feel free to contact me if you have any kind of question. I'm available on several social media, Twitter, LinkedIn, or by email. I'd like to conclude with the next coming session of this Advanced Design User Summit event. So next coming one with Mateusz, what's new in 2022.1 version, so the intermediate version we launched just last week. So you will have a presentation of the what's new for advanced design and the design module. And tomorrow 2 sessions, one for slab design still with Mateusz, and we will finish with crane moving laws and cold form design with Thibaut Thursday. So it's still possible to register. Do not miss to register to the session to attend them. Again, thanks to all for your attention and for having joined this session. Feel free to place any question on the chat or contact us on social media or through our website if you want some more information. Hope you enjoy this session, and do not forget to register to the next coming one. Thanks again for your participation to this session and to this event. Hope to see you soon in the next coming one. Thanks again and have a nice day. Bye.